on your ex-girlfriend? No! I got cheated on with the and y'all still support them. Well, don't you have a domestic violence charge and a restraining order on you? No! We went to court and I won because it was
two huge creators, a breakup that turned into a war, and now one is accusing the other of something serious. Before you pick a side, here's what we actually know. Okay, I need to set some ground rules before we get into this one, because this is genuinely one of the most sensitive situations I've ever covered, and I want us to do it right. Here is the whole thing in one breath. Two creators dated, broke up badly, and one of them has now publicly accused the other of some very serious things, including inappropriate messages with someone they say was a minor. The other person has denied all of it, completely, and says the entire thing was fabricated. So here is the deal for the next 12 minutes. We are not a courtroom, and neither are you. Nobody in this story has been charged with anything. Nobody has been arrested. No platform has taken any action. That means presumption of innocence. And I mean that for both of them. The accuser might be telling the truth. The accused might be telling the truth. We are going to lay out both sides as fairly as I possibly can. And I am not going to hand you a verdict at the end, because I genuinely do not have one. And honestly, neither does anyone else online. And one more rule, the most important one. If there is a real minor anywhere in this story, that person is the only one who actually matters here. And we are not naming them, not finding them, not describing anything, and not speculating about them. Full stop. We protect the kid first. Everything else comes after that. So let's meet the two people at the center of this. On one side, the creator behind the account, OnlyJayus, real name Isabella Avila, who built an enormous following on fast psychology facts, life hacks, and that confident direct-to-camera delivery. We are talking a primary account with somewhere around 17.5 million followers, plus millions more across other platforms. When this person says something, a genuinely massive number of people hear it instantly. On the other side, Maddie Westbrook, a creator known for comedy, lifestyle vlogs, and a warm, wholesome LGBTQ-friendly brand, who uses they/them pronouns. Westbrook built up something like 10 million followers at their peak, plus a few million more on YouTube. And their entire appeal is basically warmth and relatability and feeling safe. Keep that in your back pocket, because it ends up being a huge part of how this whole thing plays out. And here is the context you absolutely cannot skip, because it colors every single thing that follows. These two used to date. This is not a stranger. And it is not an investigative journalist making these claims. It is an ex. And by every account, the breakup was messy. Like, exceptionally messy. In fact, it was legally messy before any of the current drama even started. It is widely discussed that shortly after they split, OnlyJayus was reportedly served with court papers, what people describe as a cease and desist, from Westbrook's legal team, apparently to stop them from talking publicly about the relationship. So, the bad blood here, and the use of lawyers as a weapon, was baked in long before the big accusation video ever dropped. Hold on to that detail, because it genuinely cuts both ways. Okay, so late 2025 into early 2026, OnlyJayus posts a big, comprehensive expose video. And it does not make just one claim. It bundles 3 of them together, which is itself worth noticing. The first, and by far the most serious, the allegation that Westbrook exchanged inappropriate messages with someone who was, allegedly, a minor. OnlyJayus says they have receipts. Screenshots they showed in the video that they claim are real conversations. I am going to be really careful here. I have not seen any verified content. I am not going to describe any content, and screenshots, as an entire category of thing, are about the easiest item in the world to fake, crop, or strip of context. So, they showed receipts is not the same sentence as it has been proven. It just isn't. The second claim was procedural. OnlyJayus alleged that the earlier cease and desist used to silence them was actually fake, legally invalid. And the third claim was almost surreal, a cheating accusation in which, supposedly, during a confrontation, Westbrook deflected by, and I'm not making this up, blaming Joe Biden. Now, that last one is obviously bizarre, and it is nowhere near as serious as the first. But notice the mechanics. Bundling a weird, viral, endlessly shareable detail right next to a grave accusation is a known persuasion move. It gets the video spreading, and it quietly primes people to see the accused as just a generally chaotic, habitual liar, which then makes the serious claim feel more believable by association. Worth keeping your eye on that? There is one more wrinkle on the accusation side that the entire internet fixated on: the age. Early on, the claim was that the individual was 17. Then, as the discourse evolved, it shifted to 15 or 16, and people lost it over that change in both directions. Critics said, if you are a real whistleblower, you do not fumble a detail that important. Supporters said, a small slip actually sounds more like a real person than a rehearsed script. And either way, the core claim doesn't change. I am not going to tell you which read is correct. I am telling you the inconsistency is real, and both camps immediately weaponized it. And then it escalated. OnlyJayus said that after the video went up, multiple people started reaching out with their own stories. And that is the precise moment a messy X situation tries to become a serial pattern situation. But here is where you have to hold the line. Those other people are completely anonymous. Their claims are unverified. We do not have names. We do not have details. We have one adversarial ex-partner saying they exist. That is not evidence. That is an assertion. And the drama channels ran with it anyway, slapping titles like "going to jail" on their thumbnails, which, to be totally clear, is just clickbait. Nobody goes to jail because of a YouTube title. So how did Westbrook respond? Not with the classic tearful Notes app apology. On February 22nd, 2026, they dropped a video literally titled, "The Lies Stop Here," and the entire strategy was total categorical denial. No, let me give you context. No, it was a misunderstanding. Just, that did not happen. Reportedly, across the roughly 13-minute runtime, they repeat some version of "that never happened" so many times that one of the top comments was simply, "Take a shot every time Maddie says that never happened." And baked into that denial is a counter accusation of its own, that this entire thing is a vindictive harassment campaign from a bitter ex, someone weaponizing the internet's very real, very justified protectiveness around kids in order to settle a personal score. After the video, Westbrook did not keep litigating it point by point. Instead, they pivoted hard into wholesome content, including charity live streams for, of all things, a cat and kitten rescue. Cynics called that calculated damage control. Supporters called it just who they are. And that's the thing. Two people can look at the exact same cat stream and see opposite proof. That is basically the entire problem with this story in miniature. Now, did the denial actually work? Sort of, but not completely. The data is interesting here. Through late May and June of 2026, Westbrook's YouTube channel logged steady daily subscriber losses, hundreds a day at the peak of the drama, then trickling down to a handful a day as it cooled off. Never a growth day in that whole stretch. So the controversy clearly left a mark and chipped away at the audience. But chipped away is the key phrase. The channel is still sitting at roughly 4 million subscribers. This was a dent, not a demolition, which again, matters a lot when a thumbnail is telling you it's all over. So let's actually steelman both sides, because this is where being honest gets uncomfortable. Why do people believe OnlyJayus? 1. The receipts. Even though screenshots are fakeable, a visible image is a powerful anchor. Dismissing it requires believing in a premeditated forgery, and to a casual viewer that feels like the bigger leap. 2. They argue the age slip-up makes the story more believable, not less, because liars usually over-rehearse. And 3. They point to Westbrook's past, a prior relationship that ended amid cheating rumors, and argue it shows a pattern of dishonesty. And why do people believe Westbrook? 1. The source. The accuser is a furious ex, and a lot of people simply will not trust evidence that arrives preloaded with that much motive. 2. Critics argue OnlyJayus is fluent in therapy speak and is using accountability language as a weapon. One commenter put it bluntly, saying they think, Bella is just completely manipulating everyone by pulling the "I'm taking accountability and changing" view. 3. Westbrook has years of accumulated goodwill. Somebody literally called them a Gen Z Ellen. And people instinctively protect the creators they feel safe with. And 4, they point out that OnlyJayus has their own documented history of past online controversies, which they argue weakens their credibility as the messenger. And now the part that I think actually matters more than anything else, the reality check. Strip away every dramatic thumbnail, and here is the verifiable, on-the-record legal status of this entire case. Nothing. There is no police report in the public record. There is no known investigation. There are no charges. Neither TikTok nor YouTube has taken any action. Both creators are still up, still posting, still monetized, still running their community features like normal. And think hard about what that actually means. If a platform's trust and safety team genuinely had verified proof of anything involving a minor, that account would be gone within hours. That is the standard protocol. No hesitation. The fact that both people are still standing, fully monetized, tells you that the evidence, whatever it is, has not been verified by a single person with the actual power to act on it. So when a thumbnail screams that it is over for somebody, it demonstrably is not over. Both of these people are, by every measurable sign, surviving this just fine. And the comments are a perfect snapshot of how hopelessly split everyone is. The team accuser camp sounds like this. Jayus has done bad stuff in the past, so it isn't far-fetched, and I just believe the victims in this case. The team defense camp sounds like the person who said they did a deep dive between the two and walked away, convinced the accuser is the one doing the manipulating. And then there is my personal favorite group, the completely exhausted middle. One person summed the entire saga up as, and I quote, "PP versus poo-poo, they both suck." Another, slightly more diplomatically, wrote, "I believe that they both did weird stuff. Maddie and Jayus deserve criticism." And honestly, that last one might be the single most defensible position available right now. So who won? Nobody. I am not declaring a winner, because there is not one to declare. Not honestly, and not from where any of us are sitting. And here is what I actually think the real story is. And it is not the salacious version. The real story is how easily a private breakup between two people becomes a public trial with millions of unpaid jurors, none of whom have seen a shred of verified evidence, and every single one of whom is completely certain anyway. Because think about who actually loses here. If the serious accusation is true, then there is a young person at the center of this whose pain is being turned into content, and thumbnails, and drinking game jokes. And that is grotesque. And if the accusation is false, then a person is being branded with the worst label that exists, over a fabrication. And that is its own kind of devastating. There is genuinely no version of this where the internet getting to play judge is the hero of the story. The grown-up move, which online is somehow the most radical move there is being able to say, "I don't know, and neither do you." And we should let the people who actually investigate things do their job. So I am not going to tell you what to think on this one. I am going to ask you instead, after all of that, where do you genuinely land? Do you think the evidence points somewhere specific? Or do you think this is two people destroying each other in public while the rest of us just watch and pick teams? Tell me in the comments, but keep it on the verifiable stuff, not the pile-on. And if you appreciate a breakdown that refuses to just hand you an angry verdict, you already know what to do. I'll see you in the next one.